Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. I appreciate you taking our time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Always appreciated, never required, so thank you in advance. Now, I showed you the original space shooter that we played, or shooting game where you're playing in the vehicle of sorts, and that was 1942. Appreciate you checking out that video. But I wanted to get into some more complicated things, right? Where it gets a little more difficult, but you got more capabilities. I'm talking about one of my favorite space shooting games, Gradius 3. Now, I don't know if you call it Gradius or Gradius or Gradius or whatever you want to say, but where I'm from, in my neck of the woods, we call it Gradius. Now, this game is cool for multiple reasons. One, it's a sequel to a series that I did play a little bit on the Nintendo, but not really too much. But the third one for the SNES is that's one of the classics in my household. You know, the cool thing is with this one, you can kind of choose your loadout before you start. But I always felt it was good to just go with the first couple of them. I never did the custom one just because, you know, to a certain degree, it's really about filling up the screen with attacks. The more you can do that, the better it is for you. So you got to make sure that you kill all the enemies as much as you can early on, get as many of the options as you can, and then, have at it, because the game is hard. It is unforgiving. I do appreciate the fact that you do have continues in this game, which will be used throughout this video. Don't say nothing, just accept it. But I always thought this game was also fair because it does give you the ability to power yourself up, and you just gotta, you gotta stay safe out here in these streets or in the space. And, pretty much they just let you loose. Now, the enemies, they got two objectives: to either touch you or shoot you, or a little bit of both. But as long as you get your power ups, you're pretty decent. The only problem is in the later stages, if you die, you're kind of naked. But let's say you had a power up. When you die, if you had at least one power up, it gives you the first start off on it, so you can start off on your speed, which is very necessary. That is something, if I had to give tips to, let's say, beginners, I'm not no bullet hell expert or anything like that, and this is definitely before the days of bullet hells, but this is my version of bullet hells because I'm not playing those type of games at any point in time. So I will tell you, you need to get some speed. You're gonna need to be able to maneuver out here in these streets or in this space. So get you some speed ups, max that out if you can first, and then let everything else kind of fall in place. I will say though, the double shot or the tail shot, not really where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, get you a laser, get the ripple. That's probably my favorite one, and you'll see it in the video. The ripple does work. It's just a bunch of waves coming out, which is the better for you because you want to cover as much ground as possible. Just like they trying to fill up the screen, you need to fill up the screen with your own stuff, and you're gonna need all the options, which I believe you can get 4 max. You're gonna need 4 of those options. You're gonna need, as much missiles coming out as you can, and you're gonna need to, not die, so you keep all of your power ups. But the game is good. I like the different bosses that you go against. I like the visuals of it, especially back then. It was definitely something that was very unique to itself. You didn't see a lot of other games that tried to do what Gradius did. I know there was the Darius games, but I don't acknowledge them because it was weird that their name was the same as mine, and I didn't want to have this conversation with people. So, but we do also have R-Type out there, and you probably will see some R-Type action at some point. But I wanted to shout out Gradius because that's just a game that I always was able to kind of pick up and enjoy. And, I did beat this game at one point as a young lad. I will never try to do it again because I just remember how it was more of a sense of relief than like accomplishment. And I was just like, all right, cool. But this is also one of the games that me and my brother Ron played together, and we always had a good time playing this. Although it's one at a time, this was definitely one of those you could pass the controller and not really feel too bad about waiting your turn type of thing. But just always enjoyable for me. And I always wanted to make sure that we shouted out the games that, yeah, they may be hard. Sometimes they may be difficult, but they serve their purpose, and they were enjoyable. And also this was kind of one of those build the skill type of games, because in order for you to really be good at Gradius, you got to put the time in. You got to get comfortable with it. This is not a pick up and play, you're going to be the best type of game. More than likely, if you pick this game up and just play it and you're not used to these type of games, you're probably not going to get very far. You're probably going to say it's too hard, and you're probably going to give up. But if you just stick with it, you know, and you get into it and you start to fill up the screen with stuff so much that the game starts to slow down, which that was always one of those funny things. This is one of the first games I noticed that it's definitely having some trouble processing everything sometimes. And I thought that was kind of neat to be like, oh, we got so much stuff on the screen, the game can't handle it. So, you know, Gradius is one of those type of games that it can get crazy to the point. I'm also sure that there's people who probably just ran through this game, you know, like it was nothing. Once they figured out the right combination for them, they probably just stood in the top left of the screen or something and just, you know, just filled it up and never had to worry about anything. And if you did, you know, shout out to you. But if you're like me, you know, we scratched and we clawed our way through, but we did it, we finished it. And, you know, I was proud of myself for doing that. So I wanted to kind of share that with y'all, that I was proud of myself. And I hope you're proud of me too, you know, and it's okay if you feel compelled for whatever reason while you're watching this video to tell me, you know, that you're proud of me in the comments. I'm not saying that I need it. I'm just saying it'll be appreciated. You know, everybody likes hearing good things about themselves. But anyway, if you've played this game, let me know your experience with it. Did you beat it? Did you not like it because it was too hard? Or did you feel like it was too easy? You know, you can talk your stuff, you know what I'm saying? Brag about yourself a little bit in the comments. As always, appreciate you taking out time to check it out. Have fun. Be safe. Peace.